Hello and welcome, chess fans. Today we look at a game played between Hakura Nakamura with the white pieces and Magnus Carlsen with the black pieces. I chose this game to illustrate the point that when you move quickly in your tournament games, you're more likely to make a mistake. And in this case, we're watching these two play blitz against one another. 3-minute, 3-minute, and it's from a game in 2009. So let's go forward in this Gruenfeld and see where Magnus Carlsen makes a mistake that Hakura Nakamura is able to take full advantage of. Right here, Magnus played the move g6 to g5. At first you might look at this move and think it was a pawn move, no big deal. Maybe you notice the knight is currently guarding that pawn on e6. You know, not a whole lot going on here, but Hakura Nakamura in this position instantly saw the mistake that Magnus had made here. And having pointed out this fact that the knight is guarding that pawn, you might already see the idea of maybe rook takes knight. And what makes this move so beautiful and so decimating to Magnus's position, and the reason that he resigns here actually, is that upon a move like just rook captures rook back, there comes rook takes e6 check, and the king really doesn't have that many squares. The knight's controlling this square, the queen comes through here, the rook has these squares, so really the only option for black is to put a piece in the way. If the rook comes in the way, there comes rook takes rook check, and if the queen were to capture, the white queen would recapture, and it would be checkmate, as the knight and queen would finish off the squares the king has available. If instead, after rook to f6, rook takes f6 check, if the king goes to g7, then there's a discovered check with rook takes f4 check, and if the king goes to h6, there's mate on f6, or if the king retreats to g8, there's rook takes rook. So of course, having seen the variation after rook takes knight, Magnus just resigned. But Magnus Carlsen in a slow game, I guarantee, would not make the move g5 here. He would have seen the threats and the problems that arise after that simple but horrible mistake, g5. This is something you should take into account for your games. If the world's number one, or arguably the world's number one, Magnus Carlsen, can make a mistake when moving quickly, then it'd be difficult to argue that you wouldn't also be possible making a mistake when you move quickly. So in your next tournament game, just make sure you're taking time to look the position over fully before advancing your pieces, or maybe even making a simple looking pawn move. Hope you enjoyed this lecture, and I wish you luck in your tournament games.